I never thought a few careless words could shatter everything I had. At the time, I was too arrogant, too blind to see the damage I was doing. My name is Emily, and this is the story of how mocking my husband, Daniel, comparing him to his best friend, destroyed the life I once took for granted. Daniel and I had been married for 7 years. He was steady, dependable, the kind of man who kept promises even when they were hard to keep. He wasn't flashy, not the loudest in the room, not the man who commanded attention. That man was his best friend, Jason. Jason was charming, successful, confident. Whenever he entered a room, people gravitated toward him. And stupidly, I let myself compare. It started small. A comment here, a laugh there. Why don't you dress like Jason? He just bought a new car. Don't you ever want something nicer? Jason really knows how to take charge. You could learn a thing or two. Daniel would smile tightly, sometimes ignore me, sometimes change the subject. I thought he was just brushing it off. I didn't realize he was keeping score in silence. One night at a dinner with friends, I went too far. Jason was telling a story, everyone laughing, and I, in my wine-fueled boldness, turned to Daniel and said, "See? That's how a real man talks." The table went quiet. Jason shifted uncomfortably. And Daniel, my husband, just smiled. He didn't argue, didn't snap back. He only raised his glass and said, "Noted." I thought the moment would pass. But that smile, calm, collected, almost cold, should have warned me. Because from that night on, Daniel changed. At first, it was subtle. He became more distant, less eager to please, less affected by my words. He stopped asking if I needed anything when he left for work, stopped trying to make small talk at breakfast. Instead, he spent more time at the gym, more time meeting old contacts, more time working late. I assumed he was sulking, maybe even trying to prove a point. I didn't know he was laying the groundwork for revenge. One Saturday, Jason came by to help Daniel with a project in the garage. I hovered, as usual, flirting a little too much with Jason, just to see if Daniel would react. He didn't. Instead, he handed Jason a beer, clapped him on the shoulder, and said, "Hey man, thanks for looking out for Emily when I'm busy. She really admires you." Jason's smile faltered, and he gave me a strange look. Something in my stomach twisted. Weeks later, Daniel invited me to a charity gala his company was sponsoring. When I walked in on his arm, I froze. He wasn't the same man I remembered. Gone was the simple, quiet husband I thought I knew. He wore a tailored suit, looked sharper, more confident, surrounded by colleagues and investors who hung on his every word. He introduced me, politely but coolly, as his wife. And then he moved through the crowd like he owned the room. That night, for the first time, I saw women eyeing him the way they used to eye Jason. And worse, I saw him noticing, but not caring. Not for me, anyway. The real blow came a month later. Daniel invited Jason and his girlfriend over for dinner. Everything seemed normal, wine, laughter, small talk. But then, midway through, Daniel stood and raised his glass. "To Jason," he said smoothly. "My best friend. The man my wife always thought was better than me. Tonight, let's clear the air. I've finally become the man she wanted. Stronger, richer, more respected. But here's the twist." He looked straight at me, his eyes hard. "I did it all without her." Silence. My face burned. Jason stared at me, horrified. His girlfriend looked disgusted. And Daniel, he just sat back down, calm as ever. After they left, I tried to confront him. "How could you embarrass me like that?" I cried. He leaned back, his voice sharp but steady. "Embarrass you? Emily, I spent years being mocked, belittled, compared to my best friend. The man you paraded in my face like some ideal. You thought I didn't notice? You thought I wasn't enough? Fine. I became more than enough. But not for you. Never for you." I stammered, begged, tried to apologize. But it was too late. The next week, divorce papers arrived. Daniel had already moved out, already secured everything with precision I didn't think him capable of. He'd protected his assets, lined up witnesses who'd seen my constant comparisons, even Jason himself. The court sided with him. I lost the house, most of the savings, and the man I had underestimated all those years. Jason stopped speaking to me altogether. Apparently, he had told Daniel long ago he never wanted to come between us, and my behavior had made him uncomfortable. Even my friends distanced themselves, whispering about how I'd destroyed my own marriage with my arrogance. Daniel, on the other hand, thrived. He launched a new business, surrounded himself with people who respected him, and even found someone new, a woman who looked at him the way I used to, before my foolish comparisons poisoned everything. The last time I saw him was at a mutual friend's wedding. He was laughing, confident, the center of attention. I wanted to approach, to say something, but when his eyes met mine, they were cold. Not angry, not bitter. Just done. And that's when it hit me. The revenge wasn't in public humiliation or in taking everything during the divorce. The real revenge was in showing me what he had become without me. He became the man I claimed he wasn't. And he left me behind, speechless, watching from the shadows as he lived the life I thought he never could. I mocked my husband by comparing him to his best friend. But in the end, my husband became the man everyone admired, and I became the woman everyone pitied.